Thanks for rejoining us, everyone. Look who I found roaming around the hallways of the studio, and I drug her in here, and we're going to finish up with Miss Cherie today. Cherie, welcome back.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I told you before, I don't really like to really talk so much because I want to bring other people in, but I know I got to do what I got to do, so I'm here.
Absolutely, and we appreciate that because you are a very busy lady. But you've got some trips coming up, and
yes.
we want to hear about those trips, starting with the Texas trip that you have planned.
Yes, Texas, El Paso, we're coming to you. I'll leave, go Wednesday, and I'll present to a forum of people, including apparently some politicians and some community programs and the courts in reference to what we do here, because ideally, as we talked already, I want to go nationwide, and so this is just the starting point of us doing that. So I'm pretty excited about it. We have a lot of good information to share with them in hopes that they take what we have and are really interested in opening up a real talk out there.
Well, why Texas, and how did that happen for you?
You know, it's first of all, when I first started this in 2012, started putting it together, I told all of the then members and some of them who are still existing that in 5 years I wanted to go, once we opened up in June of 2013, I told them in 5 years I wanted to go national. And, you know, years have flown by, and it wasn't really something that, you know, I was looking for, but it just fell in my lap. And one of our members, Bruce, actually was a cellmate of this gentleman who is in Texas, Julian. And
small world.
And so they had been communicating, and Julian was made privy to the information for Real Talk, and he was super excited about it and wanted to be involved. And long story short, he contacted me and was very, very serious about being involved and looking at how we could possibly get there. And so I gave him some tasks to complete, and he followed through, and I saw his heart and his passion, and I said, okay, well, let's do this. And so that's how it evolved. I put him to task there, and he did a lot of the legwork. I give him a lot of the credit, and so it happened. I mean, this is within a 4-month period, and I shared with him that I did not want to come down there unless we had a proper forum to basically present this program to. And so that's how it happened. And you know, ironically, the Batistas you're very familiar with, who
Absolutely.
started me with softball and my inspiration to this day, Mr. and Mrs. Batista, she was actually raised in Texas. So the irony of it all, that I start here giving back, and we're going to her home state to hopefully start another chapter of Real Talk.
Now you have some irons in the fire in Louisville, Kentucky as well.
I have too many irons in the fire, but we'll talk about that iron too. Yes, in Louisville, Kentucky, I'm going to present at their seminar called the Community Shield, and it's a annual event that they do amongst the community and trying to bring the community together and find resources and programs and things of that nature to kind of change the dynamics of the community, because they have a lot of issues in Louisville as well, and we just want to make sure that we can tap into, and I'm not looking at for the big metropolitan communities right now, because we're not set up for that. Both of these cities, El Paso and Louisville, they have under 1 million people. So we're looking between 600 and 800,000 people in that little area. And I think that's perfect size for us to get started in those different states, if they choose to take us under their wing.
Well, with those potential expansions,
Yes.
you're stretching yourself thin like a rubber band.
Yes, I am.
Getting ready to
Call
snap.
me the Incredible.
How do you see yourself working within this market
Yes.
and those two areas simultaneously?
Yes.
What has to change? What are you looking for?
Oh, you just need to clone me. That's all. I mean, if we can get clone, clone me.
Why
That's
didn't I
it.
think of that?
You know, the good thing about Texas, El Paso, Julian has put together a phenomenal team already. So he has volunteers, he has a building, he has people to donate money, he has people to donate in-kind things. So a lot of the legwork really on my end is going to be setting up shop for that. And that's what I'm baiting on, is the fact that all these people already lined up, and the fact that he has a politician involved, or the politician's office involved. I am pretty certain that once we get the bulk of everything that needs to be housed, as far as how everything is going to pan out, it's going to flow. And so I anticipate letting a lot of the legwork be done or be had over there with them, and I just make trips or send somebody else along the way.
And I'm assuming your vision is definitely to have those operate like under the umbrella of the Real Talk Youth Impact Program, meaning
Yes.
that it kind of functions like a franchise, so
Yes.
to speak.
Yes.
The experience they get here is the experience that they will get in Texas and or Louisville or
Absolutely.
wherever else
Yes,
you want to
yes. The thing is, right now we're not really set up for franchising, but that is the goal, is to franchise out. It's called social franchising. And but for now, because we're starting anew, and it may be the fact that, and I don't know how this is all going to evolve, but this is all on the table. And once I get there and feel and get the responses from them to see if they want to entertain this, and if they do, then we start talking more about the logistics of how the program is going to operate there from here. But ideally, if I envision it right, is we start up a business there and monitor it from here, and eventually be able to turn it into a franchisable market for Louisville or for any other state that's willing to entertain what we're doing.
What are you needing mostly right now in the program? I know you need members, and
Yes.
what else? What are your
Money,
needs?
money, money, money. And because we're thin, and so I can't continue to operate and also try to run the program. I can't do it all.
Right.
And so interns are great. But you have to train. I need some staff. I need some volunteers who are full time, because there's so much behind Real Talk, the program, the once a month program. So money would help tremendously to get our office space. We need computers. We need full-time volunteers until we get funded. So a lot of the legwork is still being had by me and a few interns and a volunteer.
You need a good grant. That's what
I
you
need a good grant, is absolutely right. And so in order to do it effectively on a more national level, I need to have more bodies. And because we continue to grow. I mean, we're at 749 graduates.
Wow.
Yes.
That's huge.
And 1,316 kids through the program. So the kids are coming. And so we are just trying to maintain here. But also, I'm hoping, in theory, we cross state lines and we get noticed a little more, then maybe people will start, oh, that is a great program. Let me just give a little more here. So it's kind of backwards if you really look at it. You got to go out of state to try and get people more interested in your program. But whatever works, right?
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that by us doing that, it'll draw more attention to us. And they're totally on board in El Paso. I mean, it's the type of acknowledgement and the type of communication that I've received from them is great, and that's going to help us tremendously.
Will you still be vetting the collaborators, the members that come through the program?
Oh, yes.
In your vision across state lines?
Yes, most definitely, because everybody has to be on the same page, and my goal is, once we get this started, even if it's just Texas first and then Louisville, Kentucky, ultimately my goal is to have every Real Talk in and across the state lines operate the first Tuesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Because my vision is everybody's on the same page the same day. It might be 2-hour difference or 3-hour difference East Coast time if they're in another state, but the idea is we're servicing over 1,000 kids a day that one particular month, and if we're all on the same accord, I think we're going to be a little more impactful.
What are some of the member requirements? What are you looking for specifically
Sure.
before you say, yeah, I want you on my team?
Well, obviously no drug use within the last 6 months. They have to be drug and crime free within the last 6 months. We don't take sex offenders. Let somebody else use them. And they all have to just be ready to really seriously be committed to the program and be able to tell raw stories without glorifying all the drama that they've been through. We share it, but we don't tell, I don't want them to get to the point where they're just telling their whole story but getting pats on the back for
Right.
it, so anybody that's been arrested, be it from going to jail or just being put on probation or doing time, we want those people who actually are very, very serious about, number one, changing lives, be it theirs, be it the people who come to the program, the children, or anybody who's involved with us as far as collaborators, because the whole goal of the meetings every month, to change one meeting. So I want that person to be as impactful as they can, not for just the kids, but the kids are the focus, of course,
Right.
but anybody else involved in the program. And then at the same time, they are too being changed, because they continue to share their story, and it gives them a little bit more hope, you know.
Right.
And you know, with all the, you come out of the institution and you feel like you're less of a person anyway. You have a felony, and it's a scarlet letter. I mean, let's just face it. You know, I know things are trying to change. You know, X the box out. But you know, at the end of the day, people find out you're a felon. You kind of get a little bit different reaction than those that don't have
Sure.
a felon.
Well, in case there is a major donor out there
Yes.
watching right now, share your contact information, Cherie.
Yes, you can reach us at realtalkyip.org. We would love to have you drop some money in the bucket, or drop some money by our office. Our office location is 401 South. What is my office number? Oh my goodness. 401 South 4th Street, suite number 180. Please bring the money. We need it. We're helping these kids. We have given away $67,000 to kids' activities in 3.5 years.
Phenomenal.
So help us stop the cause of these kids returning to the institutions, and also preventing these kids from going into the institution. We have a twofold program, proactive and reactive. So help us with this cause.
Cherie, thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Always.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Peace.